What's going on, guys? My name is Justice, and welcome to.
A guy you don't care about yapping about his opinions? All he does is yap, yap, yap all day long and never shuts up ever. He's just a yapper. I'm sorry, please don't hurt me.
Anyway, so I thought I'd start this off with one of my favorite animes that I've seen. One that severely pissed me off and frustrates me to this day. Yeah, I'm talking about the Quintessential Quintuplets. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the show, but at the end, when. Yeah, I almost forgot to throw that in there. Now, when I do these reviews, I'm going to break them down into 5 different parts and give them scores out of 10 based on how they did in each part. The parts will be plot, pacing, visuals, character development, and soundtrack. With that being said, the scores that are going to be like this: 0, garbage; 2.5, okay; 5 is going to be mid; 7.5 is going to be good; and 10 is going to be perfect. That means it's got to be extravagant. No issues, no flaws. Now, I'm not diving completely into the entire story. I'm just giving a summary of it for time's sake. These videos aren't going to be hour-long videos. So anyway, with that being said, let's begin. So we got this stereotypical nerd named Futuro. Bro's family has got like a lot of debt and he's working hard in school to pay it off. Well, one day at school, man meets this chick, Itsuki. Only reason he does is because she took his seat. He wouldn't have talked to a girl any other way. But they began talking and he made a sly comment about her weight. Now that girl don't want anything to do with him. Go figure, right? Later that day, he gets a phone call from his sister saying there's a tutoring job. Because this dude's smart, and he like 100% on each test that he take. And they're paying 5 times the rate that they normally would for a tutoring job. But, here's the catch. The girl he gonna be tutoring is Itsuki, the girl he just pissed off. Now, he knows he gotta apologize to her for yesterday, and he tries to catch up with her, but he just can't seem to. Bro would rather just be a stalker and watch her on the side of the street instead of just talking to her. But when he gets to her spot, when he's supposed to, because he got the address because he's supposed to be tutoring her, he finally gets that opportunity to apologize. But when he turns around, he sees that she's not the only one he's going to be tutoring. He's going to be tutoring her other 4 sisters because she a quintuplet. And the reason he's getting 5 times the rate is because he has to tutor 5 people. The sisters' names are Miku, the quiet and introverted one; Yotsuba, the extroverted, kind of slow one; Nino, mean, tsundere type; and Ichika, flirtatious and a schemer. That girl be conniving for real. The only issue is, absolutely none of them want nothing to do with studying. I wouldn't want to either, to be fair. But Futuro knows in order to make that bread, he gotta get them to pass. So fighting back and forth between them, he is determined to get them to pass. As the story goes, we find out that a long time ago, Futuro met a girl in his past. Who would have thought? The stereotypical childhood friend storyline. And we find out one of the sisters he's tutoring is that girl. What a surprise, right? But we have no idea which one. And he's trying to figure it out himself while also keeping it a secret, which I don't understand. He could have just, said, hey, I got this photo from like way back in the day. I think it might be one of you guys. Was it one of y'all? But nah, man wanted to just drag it on for no reason. But the show is pretty funny, sometimes a bit cringe, but it works. And I love how the girls are always pissing Futuro off. As the show goes, the girls begin to study with him, and actually they start to learn more and stop being stupid. Their grades begin climbing higher, while each of them also begin to grow attracted to Futuro. Because how could it be a rom-com without all the female interest getting interested in the main character? You know what I'm saying? But the show has a lot of moments where the main character ends up in like sus spots with the sisters, making things awkward, and even changing the way the sisters treat him. By the end of season 1, they actually all like him, and it's obvious that they all catching feelings for him. But the show does a good job at not hinting at who the girl he ends up with is. And, I mean, they didn't really make no romantic progression at all in season 1. But season 2, all the girls eventually acknowledge their feelings for him. And they begin actually competing to see who can get him to fall in love with him. which of course doesn't go well. It just puts a lot of pressure on their relationships as sisters. They almost completely separate. And Futuro tries to get them all to graduate, but this man's also trying not to fold for real. Man was locked in, I'll tell you that. With more tears, jokes, tension, and arguments, the sisters made up by the end of season 2. The show does a good job of misleading, man, making you think that things are going one way, but then throwing curveballs like a.
Okay. You did it though.
The ending broke my neck, bro, and I was not happy about it. By the end of season 2, you still have no idea who's the one he's gonna end up with is. At least I didn't. My buddy told me there was hints, but I completely was oblivious to him. Now, where we're at the end of season 2 and going into the last part, the movie. And Futuro is finally figuring out how he feels. And if you paid attention to the end of season 2, it seems like he already knows how he feels, but it takes until the end of the movie for you to find out that it's, drumroll please, Yotsuba. That dang carrot looking idiot. I don't understand how he decided out of all of them, that's the one he wanted. Like, he has so many better options for real. Other than Ichika, that girl is a vibrant red flag. She a bop for real. But this ending had me pissed off, bro. Like, dang. I don't understand. But anyway, at the end, everybody out of high school, they live an adult life. And him and Yotsuba get married. By the way, throughout the whole show, Buddy couldn't differentiate between any of the sisters unless they told him who they was. But at the end of the show, he could decipher who they was just by looking at them. Buddy had to be blind because they all wore completely different outfits that made them all unique, so that don't make no sense. But now that I've explained all that, I'ma yap a bit. Like, why ain't bro just tell him that he knew one of them as a kid? There wasn't a point in keeping that a secret. And why didn't he reveal who he was back then either? That still frustrates me. And another thing is, in my opinion, he chose the worst choice. Well, almost the worst choice. Buddy had Itsuki, Miku, Nino, and decided to go with Miss Carrot. Like, he has to be blind thinking that was a good choice. Either that, or he wanted someone a lot dumber than him, so he could go be her Einstein or something. Story had its generic anime moments, but yet still made a unique romantic comedy. With them being quintuplets, it changed the vibe of the show. Very different from other rom-coms I've seen. So I give the plot an 8.5 out of 10. As for pacing, this is where the show shined. I believe the show did it almost perfect. It progressed the relationships of all the characters without rushing, but also without dragging it too much. It did drag sometimes, but not too terrible, and it also gave each character the spotlight. I feel like this show was 2 seasons and a movie, and it was perfect, because it allowed the relationships of each character to fully run their course until the end when he made his decision. So, yeah. I give that a 9.5 out of 10. Only because there were certain scenes I felt drug just a touch too long, but nothing major at all. It just keeps me from giving it a perfect score. Visuals? I mean, what do you expect? It's a high school rom-com anime, you know? Just a stereotypical art style with stereotypical scenes. I'd say the one thing is they made every sister unique so you could tell who was who. So, I mean, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's good for what it is, but like nothing spectacular. Character development, I'm giving this show a 9. I feel like this show does such an amazing job with the progression of each character, and I believe it has to do with how they paced it. They gave each character enough screen time to grow and change. From season 1 to season 2, each sister has significantly grown and matured, while also staying true to themselves. Yotsuba stayed a complete idiot for the most part, but that's just me hating, I guess. Ichika, I think, is a prime example of that. Went from throwing her sisters to the side to genuinely caring about them. So yeah. Definitely a 9 out of 10 on character development for me. And lastly, the soundtrack. The soundtrack for the anime was pretty good. I mean, It did a good job of keeping the mood for the show. Now, none of the music was really over the top or like jaw-dropping, but you wouldn't really expect that for a show like this anyway. The music served its purpose and did a good job, keeping the mood and vibe of each scene. So 7.5 out of 10 for me. Music was good, nothing really too special. My overall thoughts is, man, look, despite the jokes and the Yotsuba hate, this is easily one of the best rom-coms I've seen. By far, this could be on anybody's top 10 all-time rom-com list, and it deserves it. It definitely is in my rom-com top 5, and I've seen a ton. It made me laugh, had me on the edge of my seat, had me emotionally connected to the characters, pissed me off. I was even cringing sometimes, but never once did I lose interest in the show at all, and I watched it from start to finish. If you haven't seen it, this is one I definitely recommend to anybody looking to watch a rom-com anime. Seriously. Now, if I had to rank the sisters, here's where I'd put them. Number 1, Itsuki. Man, she had the best chemistry with the main character. I definitely felt as though she was his match, man, but the show just screwed it up, bro. Number 2, Miku. She pisses me off because she was too scared to confess. But I mean, she still vibes with the MC pretty well. So, why can I be mad? 3, Nino. Nino, even though she rude, she's still an alright pick. The tsundere attitude isn't that bad, and I think when she changed later in the series, she was definitely a good match. Number 4, Yotsuba. The only reason I'm putting her here and not last is because at least she didn't throw her sisters under the bus like Ishika, for real. 5, Ishika. Absolutely worst sister. She would hurt her sisters for her own gain, literally. Later she changes, but my opinion of her didn't. Now to add up the scores. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Feel free to leave a recommendation in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.